Joining me on the story, journalist from Tel Aviv, Amelie Botpol. Amelie, I would like to start by asking you, everyone is now looking at what will Israel do next. There have been threats galore. Both Iran and Israel have been giving each other a lot of threats.
I am here right now outside the Kiryat military headquarters in Tel Aviv, where last night Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met with top security officials to decide on a potential response to Iran's missile attack. As we've mentioned, Iran launched only 2 days ago over 180 ballistic missiles at Israel ahead of the Israeli Jewish New Year, which sent millions of Israelis to bomb shelter. And the response, we are told, could take the form of targeted assassination, not unlike Hezbollah chief Hassan Nasrallah's assassination last Friday, or direct hit on gas and oil rigs in proper Iran, as well as other strategic sites. Meanwhile, last night, drones were launched at central Israel. 2 drones were launched at central Israel. One was downed and the other one landed in an open area. And just moments ago, the Yemen Houthis actually claimed the attack. In the north, Israel has sustained last night its first fatalities in its ground operation in southern Lebanon.
Right.
8 soldiers were killed in a gun battle with Hezbollah terrorists in southern Lebanon. Around me, quiet has taken place for the few hours of the morning as Israelis celebrate the Jewish New Year.
Amelie, please stay on with me. We've got some more news coming in with regards to this war that is taking place. It was on the 1st of October that there were missiles which were being rained in Israel. Close to 200 missiles were launched by Iran. Many of the missiles actually missed the mark, but there was one Iranian missile that did actually manage to penetrate Israel's air defense systems. They hit the key military bases, including several air bases. Now, this damage was done by none other than Iran's supersonic medium-range Fatah-2 missile. This is a missile that is equipped with hypersonic glide vehicle warhead. It boasts of a range of 1,500 kilometers and speeds between Mach 5 and 20. This is a missile that can evade defense systems and can also change the course. Now, there is a spherical solid fuel engine which has a movable knowledge. It also is equipped with a lot of hydrogen fuel. It can also escalate right outside Earth's atmosphere, and it can also steer within the atmosphere using controlled surfaces. Iran used the Fatah-2 missile for the first time in the attack against Israel, and this missile actually is a big boost for Iran's firepower. Amelie, we did see that, this is a specific missile that everyone is now talking about globally. This was, the missile that everyone is keenly looking at. For the first time, it was being used by Iran, and the only missile that actually was able to pierce through the very famous Iron Dome.
We are getting reports that some military bases were targeted with no structural damage to infrastructure. This is at the moment the information that we have. We also have reports of damage on physical buildings in Hod Hasharon, a suburb of Tel Aviv, and as it stands, there are no injuries, not in the drone attack, which I have mentioned overnight, and not in Iran's missile attack.
Right, Amelie, we are seeing all these statements which are also being made by global leaders at the moment. So that's also something that everyone is now very clearly looking at. Amelie, please stay on with me. For our viewers, we will now break for you Iran's super weapon. Now, this is a weapon which has been able to now break through the very famous Iron Dome. Now, this is the Fatah-2 supersonic missile being used in this war for the first time. Now, Fateh 2 has evaded Israel's air defense, the very famous Iron Dome. Other missiles were intercepted, but it is Fateh 2 that actually penetrated and made some substantial damages. That's what you are seeing on your screens. The other missiles were intercepted, but the one that you are seeing now, this is the Fateh 2 that actually penetrated. It has a speed 5 times the speed of sound and has the range of 1500 kilometers. It flies at a speed which is 5 times the speed of sound and has a range of almost 1500 kilometers. So this is the new missile which is now being used by Iran, and this has become Iran's super weapon. Now this actually has become a big challenge for Israel. What will Israel do next? That's what everyone now is very keenly looking at. The United States also now saying that they want to make sure that Israel, in a proportionate manner, replies to Iran. It's the Middle East and also the west part of Asia which is now burning, and people believe that this war will now escalate. What you see behind me is Iran's super weapon, the new missile challenge for Israel. Fateh 2 was the only missile that was actually able to make sure that it pierces through the Iron Dome, and it has done some substantial damage.